Thank you very much, Premier, and good morning, everybody. Till 8 p.m. last night, there were 818 locally acquired cases of COVID-19, and there were no overseas cases reported. Again, the New South Wales population came out in record numbers to be tested. We had approximately 160,000 tests reported, and our team have also been working on clearing a backlog of negative tests, thanks to all the people that have been coming forward for testing, and a big thank you to all our labs as well, both public and private, who've been working so hard to manage that high demand for testing. There are currently 586 COVID cases admitted to hospital. There are 100 people currently in intensive care, of whom 32 require ventilation. Of the 100 cases in ICU, 87 of those people are not vaccinated, and the remainder have had their first dose of vaccine. As the Premier said, we're sad to report today 3 more people who have lost their lives due to COVID-19. They are firstly a man in his 80s from southwestern Sydney who died at Liverpool Hospital, which is also where he acquired his infection. And he's the 11th death linked to the outbreak at the hospital's geriatric ward. He was unvaccinated and also had serious underlying medical conditions. The second person is a man in his 80s from Newcastle who died at John Hunter Hospital, having acquired his infection at the RFBI Hawkins Masonic Village aged care facility in Edgeworth. He had received 2 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine and also had some serious underlying medical conditions. And this gentleman's death is the second linked to an outbreak at that facility. The third sad death is a woman in her 80s from southwestern Sydney who died at Campbelltown Hospital. She'd received 1 dose of vaccine and also had underlying medical conditions. On behalf of New South Wales Health, I extend my deepest sympathies to the families of those individuals who've passed away. As the Premier mentioned, we remain concerned particularly about transmission in the southwestern Sydney and western Sydney area, and again a call on the populations of the following suburbs to please be vigilant for symptoms. Please, like all the population of New South Wales, follow the public health orders and please get vaccinated. And they are people who live in Blacktown and the surrounding suburbs, Marylands, Guildford, Auburn, Greystanes, Greenacre and Bankstown. As the Deputy Premier will talk in more detail, we are also concerned about some sewage detections in Battle Bay, as we have mentioned also in recent days, and I encourage the population there to come out for testing. Similarly, I encourage people who live in Lithgow or have been in the Lithgow area to please come forward for testing. And a big thank you to the people of Western New South Wales for coming forward for testing and for vaccination. We hear in wonderful numbers, and particularly young people coming forward, which is terrific. And particularly I encourage people who live in the Bathurst, Parkes and Orange areas to please come forward for testing. Thank you.